Every soul has a story to tell. And your story is told not by what you say, not even by what you do, but the light that you shine when you allow yourself to be your authentic self, when you allow yourself to just be. Honoring the emotional spectrum of my humanism, if I'm being honest, I was in a conundrum. Because I have made it to this space where I am free. I am realized. I am living transcendently. Expanded mind, wide open consciousness. I am free. I am divine. God is divine. Every queen needs a king. Every queen needs a king. I know who my king is, because it's very, this life journey of mine has been drawn out, as all of our life journeys have been drawn out, mapped out by the Most High Creator. I was just given hints, breadcrumbs, major clues about, the blueprint of my life from a young age, a very, very small age. So I knew who my king was. Like I've noted in the King of Things podcast installments many of times, my spiritual awakening journey was catalyzed by my king, by my divine counterpart, by my twin flame. My king, my divine counterpart, my twin flame, left me in the wilderness to fend for myself. My king, my divine counterpart, my twin flame left me in the wilderness to defend for myself. I now know that my twin flame, my divine counterpart, my king leaving me in the wilderness to fend for myself was God's plan. That was God's plan for that to happen. That was our higher self's plan for that to help happen. Why? Because I came out of the wilderness a goddess, a warrior, a queen, a high priestess, divine. I came out of the wilderness activated in my divinity. This activation of my divinity could not have happened any other way. It wasn't supposed to happen any other way. But to have been led into the wilderness by my divine counterpart, my king, my twin flame, and then left in the wilderness to fend for myself. That was the only way that it was supposed to happen. So I'm coming out of the wilderness, and with honoring the emotional spectrum of my humanism, I had resentment. I held resentment within towards my twin flame, my king, my divine counterpart, for leaving me in the wilderness to fend for myself. Even though I know that me being left in the wilderness to fend for myself was God's plan. Coming out of the wilderness, divine, goddess divine, warrior, queen of the light, of divine. I have this space inside of me in which is longing for the fulfillment of the rest of longing for fulfillment for the next chapter in my story. The next chapter in my story is destined to be written with my king, my twin flame, my divine counterpart. This is what God's saying. Because if I'm being honest, that resentment has me wanting to just go about my merry way and live my divine life. That's the resentment talking. God's telling me, my divine counterpart, my king, my twin flame, his soul is telling me, his soul is calling out to me to save him, to help him, to save him. Because he is trapped in these karmic cycles. He is trapped in these karmic cycles and his soul can't get out. Our bodies are just our avatars. My divine counterpart, my twin flame, my king is trapped in these karmic cycles. His soul cannot get out. His soul cannot get out of the karmic cycles. My resentment was saying, what that got to do with me? My resentment was saying, what that got to do with me? And then I went into meditation as I was guided to. And then I went into meditation. And then I went to meditate. And I was guided to understand that what I was guided to see that my divine counterpart, my king, my twin flame, and I's communication has an energetic lock on it. Like it's an energetic block on our communication. I can see that. I can see it. I pulled up our text threads and I saw the energetic lock. I was like, oh snap. And then I was guided to a reading on YouTube, and I listened to that. And I put the puzzle together because with my twin flame, my divine counterpart, my king, there's so much muddled energy there. There's so much muddled energy there. It's hard for me to see clearly. So much emotion and muddled energy. It's hard for me to see clearly. So I was guided to our text thread. I gleaned, there's an energetic block on our communication. I was like, holy kazol, holy shit, okay. And then I was guided to watch a reading on YouTube. And then I went into meditation. I'm lying. I went to go listen to a couple songs I was guided to. Pretty Wings by Maxwell. And then a couple of other songs. And God was like, listening to the music, it opened me up, and I helped me to stop evading what I'm feeling inside. There's a little sadness in there. I did some journaling. I'm a little sad inside. I'm sad inside, but Ashley deserves to live in joy. I have the sadness inside about my king, my twin flame, my divine counterpart, but Ashley deserves to live in joy because Ashley has sacrificed herself so much. She deserves to live in joy, right? She deserves to have her story. She deserves to write her story. She deserves to be happy. But God led me to understand. God led me to understand that I have the power. I always have the power. I always have the keys. I always have the power, right? So what was blocking our communication was the resentment that I held inside for my divine counterpart, my king, my twin flame, leaving me in the wilderness. Even though God said, this is my plan to activate your divinity, this was the way it had to happen. And the reason why it had to happen this way is because when you came up out of the wilderness as your divine self, as a goddess, I wanted to see what you would do. I wanted to see what you would do when you came out of the wilderness as a goddess and you saw your divine counterpart, your king, your twin flame, locked in a cage, and you had the key in your hand. Would you walk? Would you walk past the cage and enjoy this life that you earned, or would you set this soul free? Are you going to set this soul free? Because you have the tool to do it. You know you can do it. I know I can do it. I did it. You can set this soul free. Or are you just going to go live your life? Not going to lie. It was energetically challenging. In my heart, I knew what I was going to do. In my head, I knew what I was going to do. Energetically, it was challenging. Because that resentment was a brick. Energetically, it was challenging. I transmute all energies of resentment towards the divine masculine energy, towards the masculine energy with the violet flame of Saint Germain. Thank you, and so it is, and so it shall be, and so it is, and so it shall be, and so it is, and so it shall be. I was running from myself. I was running from myself, in which we all do in some form or another, as the human being is programmed to operate off of karmic cycles. Karmic cycles that are cycles to learn where we are hiding from ourselves. Karmic cycles that are created to learn where we have the capacity to be for and with ourselves greater, where we have the capacity to love ourselves more. I was running from myself as the little girl inside of me was programmed to deny herself, was programmed to dilute herself, was programmed to run from herself in order to feel like she was worthy of the bare minimum attention. Feel like she was worthy of the bare minimum love. Conditional love. The way that I was running from myself, Spirit, God showed me God is me as God is you. God is me as God is you. God is me as God is you. God, our mutual bond. God, our mutual bond. God, our mutual bond showed me that the way I was running from my inner child, I was running from confronting my inner child, which the energy that my inner child carried, the fear that my inner child carried, is the same energy of fear that the foundation of my life was built on. The energy of fear of my inner child was the foundation that my life was built on. I transmuted that energy. I transmuted that energy with the violet flame of Saint Germain. And so it is, and so it shall be. And so it is, and so it shall be. And so it is, and so it shall be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But the same way that I was running from the fear of my inner child, running from people that mirrored that fear to me, that's running from people that stoked the energy of the dynamic that my inner child had me operating off of. I was running from the people that triggered the energy dynamic that my inner child had my life built upon. The same way I was running from my inner child is the same way in humanity we run from ourselves when we pick sides in any topic. When we pick sides, period, we're running from ourselves. If we pick one side, we need to have the spiritual maturity, we need to have the consciousness maturity to understand that two sides make the whole. Two sides make the whole. In order for us to be whole, we have to acknowledge both sides, because we are the creators we are the creators of our lives. We are the creators of the civilization called humanity. We are the creators of our societies. Every single one of us are mirrors to each other. Two sides make the whole. If you're picking one side, you're denying the other side, you're denying half of yourself. Even if you don't like that half of yourself, you need to acknowledge it. You need to acknowledge it. Two sides make the whole. We have to come out of this, you're right, I'm wrong. You're bad, I'm good. Bad is only half. It's a polar aspect of good. Good is only half. It's the polar aspect to bad. They both make one. We live in a dualistic polar universe. The polar aspects make up one. The polar aspects make up one. We have to mature. We have to mature our consciousnesses to understand that we are all one. The same thing that you're running from is the same thing that you are made of. I want to share a journal entry that I just stumbled upon. April 1st, new moon. Dear universe, I am beyond grateful for my divine progress and continued healing of my being. As my known desires are being delivered to me via you, I am making it known or asking for your facilitation in me embodying the most advanced and benevolent incarnation in order to use my divine gifts to heal my fellow brethren and sisterin as a shamanic healer. I am to heal beings of illness and disease through miraculous remission, instantaneous remission. Thank you. Ashley Phillips. I'm introspecting. I'm introspecting on myself because as I'm being guided through, as I was guided to realize how I was, realize how my wounded inner child was operating through me. I touched a lot of pain within myself. I felt a lot of pain within myself. I felt a lot of pain within myself. And it was a pain of me wanting to be loved, seeking love. My inner child just wanting to be loved and comforted and feel safe and supported and secure. My inner child just wants to feel loved, safe, secure, comforted, and supported for who she is in her wholeness. For who she is in her wholeness. For who she is in her wholeness. And as my inner child was seeking for this unconditional love, I was reminded what I'm looking for, what my inner child is looking for, is not in this world. What my inner child is looking for is not in this world. It's not of this world. So I have to create it. I have to create it. And it's a full circle moment for me. As it's noted in the Kingdom Things podcast, this journey of healing was this journey of divine realignment, which is really what healing is, divine realignment. I was catapulted down my spiritual awakening journey, and I was resistant, and I still hold energies of resistance that I'm not aware of. I'll find them out once I meet them. But I was resistant. And God said that God was going to show me who I was. I now know that this life experience, the human experience, our lives as humans on planet Earth, are many of infinite sojourns of our soul. The lives that we spend on planet Earth are some of infinite experiences of the sojourn of our souls, of our infinite souls. This journey is not one that is going to give you directions from A to B. It's not going to be a linear list of journeys of A to B. We're going to be taken down back alleys, back roads, up the mountain, through the valley. Get out the car, get in your kayak. We got to go down river, and then we got to get out. And then there's going to be a Jeep that take us here, and then we're going to go there. It's not going to be an A to B linear process. It's not going to be the same process for everybody. Everybody's process is going to be different. And God's showing me by bringing me back to these full circle moments where I'm able to see my own process. I'm able to glean from my own process. Even with all the karmic energies my soul intentionally took on to heal, even with all of the karmic energies my soul intentionally took on to heal, I was still looking for love. I was still looking for love. I am what I was looking for. I am what I was looking for. Humans, we spend our time running from ourselves. We spend all of our lives running from ourselves. Little do we know we are everything that we're looking for. Quite literally. Quite literally. I love you. I love you. I love you. Humanity, Earth, is ascending into a space of oneness. Humanity and Earth are ascending into a space of oneness. The notion that there's going to be a splitting of Earths is a notion that was channeled through the consciousness of separation, through separation consciousness. Humanity and Mother Gaia are ascending into a space of oneness to perpetuate that some people are going to one place and some people are going to another, is to negate the fact that we all exist within each other. Every single person is a mirror to the other person, irregardless of where your beingness vibrates at any point in the space of time. We all exist within each other. We are one. God, the one, infinite creation. The God, oneness, infinite creation that we are a part of, and at the same time we are. We are. Our souls along with the assistance of infinite creation, God the One, have ascended humanity and Mother Gaia. Our souls, every single one of our souls, whether or not that person gets on your nerves or not, whether or not that person triggers you or not, they are a mirror to you. They are a soul just like you that assisted with the ascension of humanity and Mother Gaia. Something to celebrate. Something to be elated about. Something to let our hearts breathe about. In the space of what is, we are being asked to surrender to who we thought we were. Surrender who we thought we were, not for punishment, but to open our eyes, open our energy bodies, open our beingness up to new energies that will facilitate us with our expansion and growth. New energies that will facilitate us with creating this story, this lifetime, however we see fit, as long as that story is in alignment with divinity, alignment with the greatest good of yourself and for all. If you have a dream seated in your heart, 10 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, that dream, it's a seed from God. So it's in alignment with the highest good for yourself and for all. So as we are being urged to surrender and to follow our intuitive guidance, it's not out of punishment. It's to open ourselves up to infinite possibilities. Whatever you want to write your story to be, that's yours to realize. That's yours to manifest and leverage in your physical reality. So we can have conversations about what we think, what she thinks, what they think. But there's no boundaries anymore. It's infinite possibilities. So it's about what you will allow yourself to have, what you will allow yourself to be, what you will allow yourself to create your life to be. Children, we come into this world as full angelic beings. Children, we come into this world as whole angelic human beings. But we experience a reprogramming of our divinity where our physicality is rested on our parents or our guardians, our physical guardians, to ensure our safety and protection and survival. Children come into this world as angelic human beings, but we are reprogrammed, rewritten, because we depend on beings, our parents, our physical guardians, to care for us, to ensure that we are safe, protected, and provided for. As Spirit showed me, I just went through some childhood wounding, some inner child work, and my inner child felt like she needed masculine energy outside of herself in order to be safe, in order to be supported, in order to be provided for. Spirit's been telling me, like, you always had the power to do whatever you wanted to do. You always had the power. I'm cleaning the restroom. I'm cleaning my tub, about to take a bath. and I got an energetic flashback. I felt an energetic remembrance when I was a child in the bathroom taking a bath. I felt the energy of that child, and the energy that I was feeling is my divinity. The energy that I'm feeling is my divinity. But as a child, I correlated that energy, my embodiment as a child. I related my embodiment as a child as with my need to survive. As when I was a child, I felt like I had to survive. I was in flight or fight mode since I was a child. So I correlated my divinity with the fight or flight mode that my inner child experienced. My hyper independence, not wanting to ask anyone for anything and not wanting to accept things from people. Even God is like, open your heart to me so I can flood you with everything that you deserve as my child. And I was resistant. Why? Because I correlated receiving things from people with that dynamic as a child, that fight or flight dynamic as a child. I correlated receiving things from people with that masculine energy that instead of apologizing for violating you, the masculine energy gives you your bare minimum that you require as a child. That masculine energy gives you the bare minimum that you require as a being to survive. As if doing the bare minimum, providing the bare minimum as a being to survive is a sacrifice for that masculine energy, is that masculine energy going above and beyond, is that masculine energy. It's as if the violation that masculine energy perpetrated on me as a child, providing my bare minimum needs that I need as a being to survive as a child, was propagated. This dynamic was propagated through my life as I, on one hand, seeked that masculine energy for protection, for love, for support. And on the other hand, I did not want to receive anything from that masculine energy because on a soul level, on an energetic level, that dynamic was not conducive to my divinity, to the alignment of my highest good, the highest good for all. It is September 4th, 2022. What is time? What is time? There will be torrential rain that engulfs the states. There will be torrential rain that the states will experience because not enough people are heeding the call of their intuition of God to go within. So there has to be another lockdown mandate. And I'm talking to God like, ease and grace, God, ease and grace. And God is, brainstorming with God. God's like, how would you like for it to be done? What do you think should be done? And I was like, I don't know, God, I saw, Noah's Ark in my mind's eye. I was like, oh, do we really got to go there? I was like, God, we really got to go there. Do we really got to go there with it? And God says not enough people are heeding the call to their intuition and going within. The United States will experience torrential rain, widespread torrential rain that causes a lockdown mandate for 3 months. God is you as God is me. God is you as God is me. And not enough people are going inside to heed this realization that you are God having a human experience, as I am God having a human experience. The way God is breaking it down is in order to, on an individual level, in order for a person to ascend, to come into the realization of their God essence, God consciousness. In order for a person to ascend, to come into the realization of their God essence, their God consciousness, they have to transmute or shed 51% of their karmic energy, or their of their karmic energy. So you have to shed 51% of your karmic energy in order to ascend, to realize God consciousness, to realize your God essence. 1 out of 5 people on this planet are going within. 1 out of 5 people have realized God consciousness. That's 20%. That's 20%. And just as on an individual basis, the 51% of the karmic energy has to be shed, humanity, in order to ascend humanity with Mother Gaia, because Mother Gaia is ascending with or without us. In order for humanity to ascend with Mother Gaia, humanity has to reach 51% of population God consciousness. So within, so without. We're being asked to be still. We're being asked to be still, still body, still mind, in order for the divine aspects of self to cleanse our souls, to deeply cleanse our souls. Be still. There is no death. There is no death. The way humanity perceives death, the way humanity perceives reality, is that of a perception that is filtered through a survival consciousness, filtered through a victim consciousness. Our souls exist to learn, expand, and grow. Our souls exist to learn, expand, and grow. Everything that our souls go through are planned happenings by God or the divine aspect of self. Everything that our souls go through are planned happenings by God or the divine aspect of self, your higher self, you, your soul, your individual soul, the God aspect of your individual soul planned everything that you have experienced in your life. There is no good or bad. There are only opportunities to glean growth and experience on your soul journey. Whoa. 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 So as humanity ascends, I am a forerunner. So I am doing the ascension thing before. I am basically a test tube for ascension. Basically, I am the test subject for ascension, for the ascension of humanity. I am a test subject for the ascension of humanity. I am a test subject for the ascension of humanity. And I'm lying on the floor because being intuitively guided to go within in order to glean and understand the energies that present themselves, in order to gain assistance from other divine aspects of self, with helping with deep cleansing of my soul, and eradicating these karmic cycles that are within my being. I carry the Akashic record of all of infinite creation and all of Earth's existence, all of humanity's existence on Earth. So, like, I'm doing the shadow work for a lot of spaces, places, and realms. Doing the shadow work, which we're all connected. So I'm doing the shadow work for the one. I'm doing the shadow work for the one or God, Goddess. Doing the shadow work for the one or God, Goddess. And one of the things, my heart, it was difficult for me to open up my heart. It was just so difficult. And I was like, I want to, but I want to, and I'm telling Spirit, like, I want to open my heart. I want to open my heart. Mind you, I'm already an ascended being. So, the quote unquote death, I felt that. I felt it, but I was still, my body was still well and alive, but my soul, like I had the whole ascension experience to where, like, I felt I am the bliss of divinity. Like when we pass away, that feeling that we feel when we pass away, it's not a feeling of, like, it's not a scary feeling. It feels like you're home. It feels like you're home. And I felt that. And then, I came back and I had the choice, do you want to stay and help, or do you want to transition? For real? You want to transition and go back to the part of the omniverse that you came from, or do you want to stay and help, with help ascend all of humanity? Like I said before in a previous podcast installment, Divine Balance, I think is a title name. I had the option to stay and assist with the ascension of humanity or leave. I've already done my job. I already did the job that I quote unquote set out to do, even though I know that everything that happens is a planned happening of God. But at that point, I had the choice. You can stay here and help ascend humanity, or you can go back to the part of the omniverse that you came from. I chose to stay to help humanity. So I had the ascension to where I died, basically. I died, basically. And it came back into my body, which was a beautiful experience. It was really a beautiful experience. Came back into my body. And where was I going with this? Oh, yes. And I'm doing the shadow work for humanity, for the one, really, because it's all connected. I'm doing the shadow work for all of infinite creation that pertains to humanity. let me edit that before I really do some more shadow work. So I'm doing the shadow work. I'm doing the shadow work for all of infinite creation that pertains to humanity. And which my guides are reminding me that's like everything. It's everything. Cool. So I'm doing shadow work and I can't open my heart. I don't understand why. Like I know why. Like I know it's a karmic thing. I know it's a part of the plan. I know it's a part of the story that God's creating through us. I know this, but I was like, damn, like, can I open my heart? Fast forward, I was mirrored me running from myself. And then when I saw that, I introspected on my whole life. Because our whole lives even like from the day that we're born, our whole lives are a projection of the energies that we hold internally and like in our DNA and our Akashic record, right? Our whole lives are energies that we hold within our DNA. They're a projection of the energies that we hold in our DNA. So we come into our life and like we have these experiences even from small children, and we get older and we're like, damn, why'd I have to go through that? That all is a projection of the shit that we were already carrying around before we came in. So our souls decide how they want to work off these energies. Our souls decide how they want to experience the lessons from these energies to work these energies off before we incarnate. So I'm laying on the floor. I was like, I want to open my heart. I want to open my heart for many reasons. One, like I want to love myself. I want to love myself. Two, like I went home and I felt how that shit feels. Like, and home is in your heart space. Home is never separate from us. Home resides in our heart space. So it's like, I want to open my heart. Like I want to open my heart. Like I want to like represent home. I want to be home wherever I am. Three, I want to create a story of love. And my divine counterpart, a part of reconnecting with my divine counterpart is reconnecting with myself and loving myself. And myself is God. My divine counterpart is God, but that physical manifestation of my divine counterpart, in order to connect with God and the physical manifestation of my divine counterpart, I have to open myself up to myself, right? And I have a lot of good karma stacked up. let me tell y'all the whole tea. I got a lot of good karma stacked up from, many spaces, places, and realms that my soul has been to assist with creation and ascension of humanity's, of ascension of God's creations. So I have a lot of karma racked up. So I open my heart up and like it's gonna flood through. All the good karma gonna flood through. So it's all of that. Like it's a montage of things, that I am excited about. Your heart space is where your infinite creation lies. Your heart space is where your infinite creation ability lies, right? So I was like, why can't I open up my heart? Why can I not open up my heart? So I got mirrored, which triggered my childhood wounds, which like I was like, didn't want to go there again. Like spirit take me back. So I went back to my childhood wounds. I'm like, damn, like, and I remembered when I was in the second grade, story time, kingdom things, story time. I'm going to get some jingles up in here. Kingdom things, story time. So when I was in the second grade, I went to a church retreat. Second grade church retreat with my older sister. She was 2 years older than me, so she's like in the fourth grade. And my grandmother. It was a church retreat at like a hotel. So I stayed in a room with like a couple other girls my age, so like younger girls, and then some older girls that were like 16, 14, 15, 16. And me and the younger girls, we were running around the room having fun. And one of the older girls, I could feel her energy. Like I was running around having fun. And she said, I don't like her. And I intuitively knew she was talking to me. I stopped dead in my tracks and I started bawling, crying. And I ran to the bathroom. I don't like her. Woo. Oh gosh. And that's when, in this lifetime, that's when I really became reserved. That in this lifetime, it triggered that DNA, it activated in my DNA the lifetimes where I realized this world don't fuck with me. I realized this world don't fuck with me. This world does not mess with me. Like who I truly am. I'm a divine being of the Most High Creator. That light, this world don't mess with that light like that. This world did not mess with my light like that. This world, the darkness, does not like my light, right? So she said, I don't like her. I was running around and I intuitively knew. I stopped dead in my tracks. I started crying. That activated that wanting to retreat, wanting to be subdued, wanting to dim my light. That activated, let me back up. So I'm lying on the floor, trying to open my heart, and I can't open my heart. Childhood wounds triggered. I started crying like nobody. I started crying and saying, just a few moments ago, I started crying and saying, nobody loves me. This world does not love me. Nobody loves me. This world does not love me. And then in my head, I heard clairaudient. In my head, I heard archon. In my head, I heard archon. And mind you, I'm awake at this point. I've ascended. I'm still waking up. Like, you ascended, so what? Like, I'm still waking up, right? Like, I'm still waking up. But I'm woker. I'm woker from wokish to woker. So I know that I'm working a puzzle. I know this life is to expand, grow, and create. And I know that I'm working a puzzle at the same time. So I started crying. The childhood wound was triggered. I started crying. Nobody likes me. Nobody loves me. This world doesn't like me. This world doesn't love me. And then I heard clairaudiently in my mind, I heard archon. So after I cried and cuddled myself, I got up and I was guided to, before I got up, I was laying there in Lumeria. I got the whole string. I got the download. Lumeria, y'all stopped following y'all's divine guidance, which allowed in energies, darker energies from the universe, from the space of what is. And those darker energies is what created the karmic cycles and these manufactured demons and dark energies of the human mind. So I got the channel message, Lumeria, you guys stop following your divine guidance. When you stop following your divine guidance, you allowed in energies, and these energies attached to you. And as these energies attached to you, it became attached to your biology. These energies became attached to your biology, and it mutated your DNA. These energies that you guys, the Lumerians let in, 4th, 5th generation Lumerian that you let in, the 4th or 5th generation Lumerians, you guys stopped following. And it's me, because I'm a part of this creation. As we all are. You are me, I am you. So I got the channel download after archons, clairaudient. Channel download, Lumerians, 4th or 5th generation. You guys stopped following your divine guidance. You stopped following your intuition. You started doing what you wanted to do. You allowed in energies, dark energies from the space of what is. These dark energies attached to you and mutated your DNA. Self-hate. These energies are energies of self-hate. These archons that were allowed in from the space of what is, were energies of self-hate. So I got that download and I got up. I was like, what the heck is an archon? I was like, what's an archon? So I went to YouTube and I typed it in, and it was confirmed. You know, the archons are of a illusionary creation, an illusionary God. Is where the archons stem from. They stem from that illusionary creation of the illusionary God is where the archons stem from. And Lumeria, 4th or 5th generation, when we stopped following our divine guidance, we allowed in those energies to attach to us and mutate our DNA, and taught us how to hate ourselves, hate our divinity. taught us how to hate our light. So in the 2nd grade, when I went to the camp retreat, and the girl that was twice my age, that I was contracted, that we were contracted for her to trigger me, she triggered that mutation in my DNA of self-hate. I don't like her. That triggered the self-hate, and that archon, that archon, or the DNA mutation. What it does is it makes you subconsciously dim your light in order to match other people, in order to fit in order to feel loved. It makes you dim your light. It makes you dim your light. Even if you want to shine bright, I want to shine my light, I want to be myself, it makes you dim your light. It causes you to dim your light. This DNA mutation, in order to fit into this world, in order to fit into this world, in order to feel loved by this world. That's what that Archon DNA mutation does. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, I cried, nobody loves me, looked at the Archon, and I was so relieved because once I figured it out on my own, like, well, once I realized that once I realized that I was running for myself, because this world, it seemed as if this world doesn't like me. You know, this world doesn't like my light. This world did not like me. This world did not like my light. So I was running for myself to try to find somebody or something in this world to love me, to like me. Once I figured it out, I got the download about the Lemuria Archons and about the DNA mutation. Everything that happens in the space of what is, as much as we want to point fingers, point blame, and be victims, as much as we want to point fingers, point blame, and be victims, everything that happens is a plan of the Most High Creator. I know it's shocking. Everything that happens is a plan of the Most High Creator. Everything. Even if it seems like everything that happens is a plan of the Most High Creator to get the most out of you. And because the Most High Creator is infinite creations ahead of us, everything has a place. Everything happens for a reason. Everything. It's up to us on whether or not we want to glean lessons or be victims. What did I glean from this? I'm going to hold on to myself. Do you hear me? I'm going to hold on to myself. I'm going to hold myself down, hold myself up. I'm going to hold myself up. I'm going to hold myself up. I'm going to be unconditional love. Every space, place, realm that I see, you feel me, is going to be unconditional love. You are me, I am you. I'm going to be the best that I can be for you by being the best that I can be for me. I'm going to be the best thing that I can be for you by being the best thing that I can be for me. And for clarification, when I say I died, my soul left my body. My heart did not stop. My soul left my body. My heart did not stop. My soul left my body, ascended. My heart did not stop. My body was safe and well. So ascension, your body will be safe and well. Your soul just elevates. Your soul elevates. They made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. That's why shawty, how long where the ball is at? They made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. That's why shawty's home where the ball is at. In our DNA, ancient Sumeria, the Anunnaki were involved with the modification of the DNA of the human that we know today. The humans that we are today involves the genetic modification of our DNA by the Anunnaki of ancient Sumeria. The Anunnaki were extraterrestrial beings from Nibiru. The Anunnaki extraterrestrial beings from Nibiru that were involved with the genetic modification of the DNA that we hold as human beings today. The genetic modification that the Anunnaki from Nibiru did to the humans that we are today, was a genetic modification, a slave gene, basically. A slave gene was modified and created, and it's what we actually have embedded in our DNA today, a slave gene in which we aren't driven by the natural divine inclination to create from our own heart centers, from our own imaginations, from our own creativity, our own divine creativity, but we drive and work for others' creations. We drive and work for other entities, other beings outside of ourselves. It's a slave gene. Pair that slave gene with the Archon DNA creation of self-hate, where we dim our lights in order to feel loved or appreciated or accepted by this world. Every human being, our souls are not of this world. Even if they say, let's say we have an earth soul. Let's say that our soul did derive from earth. Every single soul, like I said in the previous podcast installment, God says every single soul, no soul is to be bound to any place, space, thing, or person, any realm, dimension. No soul is to be bound to anywhere, anything. Souls are meant to be free. Souls are meant to create infinitely. Souls are meant to stretch far and wide. Wherever soul wants to go, that's where soul has the right to be, to go. So even if you are a quote unquote earth soul, no soul is to be bound to this planet. But we have that Archon DNA mutation where we want to feel liked and received and appreciated by the world. And then we have the Anunnaki of Nibiru, ancient Sumerian, genetic modification, slave gene, where we are working for entities outside of ourselves instead of creating and being and expanding in our own divinity. As every soul, every being, every divine being is created to do in the space of creation, infinite creation. So what do? We go to work for other people. We slave and work for other people in order to get a paycheck, in order to buy things, to feel, to keep up with the Johnsons, to feel like we are one with the world, to feel like we are a part of this consumer classism, consumer consciousness, consumer society that we have created. We are designed in our divinity to be creators, producers, not consumers. The world is changing. The world is going to continue to change. The world has no choice but to change. This world has no choice but to change. How do we transition from a consumer society to something different? They made us hate ourselves and love their wealth. All falls down. I say, instead of everything falling down, and instead of mass destruction, instead of mass chaos, we put forth the effort to transition as a collective, as a society, as a planet. We transition. How do we do this? Going within, going within, going within, because as we were going to be here. We were going to be here, and there's a solution to every single transition that needs to be made. Every single person, group of people, whoever, collective of people, y'all have the answers. We have the answers, but they're inside. So you have to go within to discover the answers of how do we do this? How do we transition out as a society? We are changing. Our planet is changing. Our society is changing. How do we do it? We go within. We go within to find solutions. Y'all just don't know. Y'all sitting on Akashic records that really, like, you have the answers to solve world hunger. You have the answers to end terminal diseases. You have the answers in your Akash. We have to go within. Humanity, humans, whenever we want a solution to a problem, whenever we're seeking a solution for a problem, we look to energies outside of us. We look to people outside of us to provide the issue, to provide the solution. We look for people outside of us to provide the solution. We search for a product or a machine that will aid our problem. Every issue our planet will ever face and has ever faced, the solution to that issue or that problem is or was seated, is and was seated inside of a child somewhere, inside of a human somewhere. When I say child, I just mean human. So every issue that humanity, this planet, has and will see, the solution for that issue or problem is seated inside of a person. We have, as we become activated in our DNA, divinity, as we become activated in our divinity, we become active in our purpose. As we become active in our divinity, we become activated in our purpose. Our purpose has a seed that is planted within our purpose, within our divinity. And once you activate your divinity, you activate that purpose, that seed starts to sprout. And that seed will eventually create a harvest that will provide sustenance to the famine of this earth. A harvest that will provide solutions to the problems of this earth.